Let's get one thing straight. Nobody is coming to save you, not the perfect partner, not the dream job, not the fairy tale rescue. You're not a damsel in distress. You're not broken. You're not helpless. What you are is powerful, and it's time the world saw it. You've waited long enough for approval, for the right moment, for someone to hand you the life you've always imagined. But let me tell you something real and raw. The cavalry isn't coming. And that's not a tragedy, it's your liberation. Because once you stop waiting to be saved, you realize the hero you've been praying for has been staring back at you in the mirror all along. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not next year, now, to rise up, shake off every limit this world tried to place on you, and rewrite your life. Not as a victim of your past, but as the fierce author of your future. You don't need permission to be powerful. You don't need a crowd to believe in you. You just need to believe in you. So stop waiting, stop doubting, start rising, because this life, it's not happening to you. It's waiting for you to take control. Your breakthrough begins the moment you stop waiting and start acting. That single shift in mindset can change the entire trajectory of your life. You see, too many people spend their days hoping, praying, dreaming, but never doing. They wait for signs, for permission, for the perfect moment. But the truth is, that moment doesn't come wrapped with a red ribbon and flashing lights. It shows up quietly, disguised as today, as this very moment, and most of the world misses it because they're too busy waiting for someone else to validate their potential. Waiting keeps you stuck. It convinces you that something magical is going to happen without your effort. It tells you that maybe someone will rescue you from your struggles, open the right door, give you the opportunity of a lifetime. But that's a fantasy. The real world doesn't operate that way. Life rewards those who move, not those who wait. The universe responds to action, and the sooner you understand that, the faster you'll unlock the power that's been sleeping inside of you. Everything you've ever wanted lies on the other side of action. That idea in your heart, that dream you talk about when no one's around, that life you imagine in your quietest moments, it's all possible, but not until you move. Not until you take that first step, even if you're afraid, even if you don't have it all figured out. Because clarity comes through movement. Confidence comes through showing up. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to start. People often underestimate the power of small beginnings. They think their actions need to be massive, bold, world, changing from the start. But the truth is, most powerful changes begin with quiet decisions. The decision to wake up earlier, the decision to start writing the book, even if it's just one page, the decision to walk away from what's draining you, these small steps done consistently create momentum. And momentum, once built, becomes unstoppable, but none of that happens until you stop waiting. You have to stop waiting for someone to push you, to choose you, to see you. You have to stop waiting for the timing to be perfect, for fear to disappear, for someone to hold your hand. You have to choose yourself. You have to rise up even when you feel broken. You have to believe that your destiny is worth the fight, even when the world tells you to sit down and stay silent. It's not about being fearless. It's about being brave enough to move forward with your fear in your pocket. Because fear doesn't disappear. You just learn how to walk with it. And every time you do, you get stronger. Every time you take action, you teach your mind that you're capable. You prove to yourself that you are not the person who quits. You are the one who rises. Too many people live trapped in a story they didn't write. They live by the expectations of others, the limitations of their past, the fear of failure. But your story is not over, and you don't have to keep repeating chapters that no longer serve you. The pen is in your hand. You can begin again. You can flip the page and say, "This is where everything changes." You don't need anyone's permission to change your life. You don't need approval. You don't need to be perfect. What you need is to take responsibility for your future and act like your life depends on it, because it does. Your peace depends on it. Your joy depends on it. Your growth, your legacy, your purpose. They all depend on you showing up now, not later. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. That's not just a cliche, it's a blueprint for transformation. You don't need a spotlight or a platform. You need courage. You need resilience. You need a decision deep in your soul that says, "I will no longer wait to be rescued. I will rescue myself. Every day you wait is a day you delay your own breakthrough. So what are you waiting for? The fear will always be there, the uncertainty will never fully leave, but neither will the regret if you keep putting your life on hold. Choose your hard, because waiting is hard, and so is acting, but only one of them leads to freedom. When you finally decide that no one is coming to save you, something powerful happens. You start to take back your power. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and become a creator of your reality. That's when the magic begins. That's when your life starts to shift, because the moment you stop waiting and start acting, you become unstoppable. That's your breakthrough, and it's yours to claim right now. Self-belief is the most radical form of power. Own it unapologetically. Because when you believe in yourself truly and deeply, you become untouchable. Not in an arrogant way, not in a loud or boastful way, but in a quiet, unshakable confidence that radiates from the inside out. The kind of confidence that doesn't scream, it speaks with presence. The kind that doesn't need to prove anything to anyone, it simply knows. And in a world constantly trying to tell you who you are, what you're worth, and what you can or cannot do, self-belief is your loudest rebellion. Most people are walking through life with more potential than they'll ever use, not because they aren't capable, but because they don't believe they are. It's not the lack of talent that holds them back, it's the lack of belief. The absence of that inner voice saying, you can. And if you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect anyone else to? People sense energy before they hear words. When you walk into a room with self-belief, it changes the dynamic. It shifts the atmosphere. You stop asking for permission to exist. You stop shrinking to fit in. You stop second guessing every move. You start walking like you belong, because you do. In the moment you realize your worth doesn't come from titles, attention, or validation, you start living from a place of wholeness instead of hunger. Believing in yourself isn't about pretending to be perfect. It's about embracing your imperfections and still showing up with fire. It's about saying, I know I'm a work in progress, but I'm still worthy of greatness. It's about looking in the mirror and recognizing your power, even when life tries to dim your light. Because the world will try, it will throw failure at you, it will offer criticism, it will whisper doubts in your ear, and still your belief in yourself has to be louder than all of it. Self-belief is built, not given. It comes from showing up when it's hard, from doing the thing you were scared of, from proving to yourself over and over that you are capable. It doesn't come from comfort, it comes from courage. Every time you step outside of your doubt, you grow stronger. Every risk, every fall, every comeback, it's all part of the process. You don't become confident by thinking your way there. You become confident by doing, and yes, some days you'll doubt yourself, some days fear will win. But self-belief doesn't mean you never fall, it means you never stay down. It's waking up the next day and saying, let's go again. That persistence, that resilience, that refusal to quit, that's the core of self-belief. It's not about being the best, it's about knowing that your best is always evolving, and you're committed to the process. Don't wait for the world to validate you, validate yourself. Be the kind of person who claps for their own wins, who encourages their own heart, who cheers themselves on when no one's watching. Because waiting for the world to believe in you first is a losing game. Sometimes you have to be your own hype squad, your own coach, your own reminder that you were born with something this world needs. You are not here by accident. There is a reason you think the way you do, feel the way you do, dream the way you do. And the more you believe in that purpose, the more unstoppable you become. Stop playing small to make others comfortable. Stop doubting your voice because it doesn't sound like everyone else's. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to stand out. And that starts with believing that you are enough exactly as you are. No one else gets to define your value, not society, not your past, not even your failures, only you do. And the moment you start owning that truth, your life starts shifting. Doors open, opportunities arise, people notice, not because you're lucky, but because you finally stepped into your power, because you stopped apologizing for taking up space, because you stopped waiting for someone to choose you, and you chose yourself. So if you want to rise, start by believing. Believe that you are capable. Believe that you are worthy. Believe that no matter where you've come from, you can still go somewhere extraordinary. This is your life. This is your moment. And self-belief, that's your superpower. Don't just whisper it. Don't just hope for it. Own it. Walk in it. Live it. Unapologetically. Pain is not your prison. It's your platform. Rise from it. That's a truth most people don't realize until they've been through hell and made it out on the other side. We're taught to fear pain, to avoid it at all costs, to run from it or numb it or pretend it doesn't exist. But pain isn't the enemy. Pain is the beginning of awakening. It's the signal that something must change. It's the force that breaks you open so you can rebuild stronger. If you let it, pain can be the very thing that propels you into your purpose. Everybody hurts. No one is exempt from suffering, but not everyone uses their pain as fuel. Some people stay stuck in it. They wear their wounds like chains, letting them define their identity, letting them shrink their vision. But your scars are not symbols of defeat. They're proof you survived. They're reminders that even when life tried to break you, you refused to stay broken. You have two choices when pain hits. You can let it bury you, or you can let it build you. And that choice, your response to pain, determines everything. It's easy to feel strong when everything's going well. But who are you when everything falls apart? What do you do when the people you trusted walk away, when the plan you made collapses, when the dream you poured yourself into doesn't work out? That's where your true strength is born, in the fire. In the mess, in the dark nights when no one is watching, and you still choose to get up. Pain exposes the truth. It shows you what really matters. It strips away the superficial and demands that you look deeper. It reveals your resilience, your courage, your capacity to love even after loss. And when you rise from that place, not bitter but wiser, you carry a power that can't be faked. A quiet authority that says, I've been through it, and I'm still standing. The greatest transformations often come from the deepest wounds. Think about it. The artists, the leaders, the visionaries we admire, many of them were born out of pain. They used what they went through as material for something greater. They didn't wait for life to get easier. They used the struggle to create, to inspire, to impact others. That's what turning pain into a platform looks like. It means saying, this didn't destroy me, it refined me. You don't need a perfect past to create a powerful future. You don't need to have it all figured out to start rising. All you need is the decision to no longer let your pain define you. That heartbreak, that betrayal, that failure, it might have shaken you, but it didn't end you. You're still here, and as long as you're still here, there's purpose left in you. There's something you're meant to build, to speak, to become. Don't waste your pain. Don't hide it. Let it speak. Let it teach. Let it strengthen. There's something sacred about surviving something you thought would break you. It gives you perspective. It deepens your compassion. It humbles you. It makes you appreciate the small wins, the quiet peace, the people who stayed. And that kind of wisdom, it can't be bought. It's earned through every tear, every setback. Every lonely night when you didn't think you'd make it. But you did, and here's what most people miss. Your pain connects you to others. Your story, as messy and imperfect as it is, might be the exact thing someone else needs to hear. When you're honest about what you've been through, when you stop pretending and start speaking from your truth, you give others permission to do the same. You show them it's possible to rise, to rebuild, to live again. You don't have to have a flawless life to be a light. You just have to be willing to stand up in the middle of your storm and say, I'm not done. Let your pain make you bolder. Let it give you a deeper hunger. Let it push you toward healing, growth, and impact. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a warrior shaped by fire. This is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new chapter. One where your pain becomes your power, where your wounds become wisdom, where your lowest moment becomes your loudest message. You're not just here to survive, you're here to rise, to lead, to show the world what it looks like to turn pain into purpose. So don't run from it, don't hide from it, face it, use it, and then rise, because your pain is not your prison, it's your platform, and the world needs what you've built from it. Rewrite your story by letting go of who you were told to be. It's one of the most powerful acts of liberation you'll ever experience. From the moment we're born, the world starts writing a script for us. Parents, teachers, society, even culture, they all come with expectations. They tell us how to act, what success looks like, who to love, how to speak, what dreams are acceptable, and which ones are too big. Slowly, without even realizing it, we begin living a version of ourselves shaped more by others' opinions than by our own truth. But there comes a time when your soul starts to feel the weight of the lies, when your heart starts whispering that there's more to life than following someone else's idea of who you should be. That's the moment you face a choice: stay trapped in the comfort of conformity or break free and become who you were always meant to be. That moment, though terrifying, is also the most sacred, because it's the first step to rewriting your story on your terms. Letting go of who you were told to be isn't about rebelling for the sake of rebellion. It's about reclaiming your voice. It's about looking at the pieces of your life and asking, is this really me? It takes courage to question the labels others have placed on you, to admit that maybe you've been living a life that doesn't feel like your own, that maybe, just maybe, you've outgrown the version of yourself the world feels comfortable with. You are not here to meet expectations, you're here to exceed them, to redefine them, to challenge what's possible. But that doesn't happen if you keep playing small to please people who never really saw you to begin with. The truth is, not everyone will understand your transformation. Not everyone will clap when you decide to break the mold. Some people will try to guilt you back into being who you used to be because it made them comfortable, but you can't live for their comfort and your calling at the same time. The real you, the bold, unapologetic visionary you deserves to breathe, deserves to create, deserves to lead. But first, you have to silence the noise of expectations, the noise of fear, the noise of you should, and you can't, and what will they think? The only voice that matters now is yours, the one that's been drowned out for too long. It's time to listen. Rewriting your story means giving yourself permission to evolve, to pivot, to dream again. It means letting go of timelines that don't belong to you, standards that don't fulfill you, and identities that no longer fit. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to stop chasing things that once mattered but no longer do. That's not failure, it's wisdom. Transformation isn't a straight line, it's messy, it's uncomfortable. It comes with doubt and setbacks and days when you wonder if you've made a mistake, but it also comes with freedom, with fire, with the quiet power of knowing you are finally living in alignment with your truth. And once you taste that kind of authenticity, you'll never go back to pretending again. There is no rule book for your life. You get to write it, edit it, rewrite it as many times as needed. You don't owe the world consistency, you owe yourself truth. So if the old version of you no longer fits, take it off. Shed the identity that was stitched together from other people's expectations and step into the one that feels like home, because the world doesn't need another copy. It needs the real you. You were not born to be average. You were not born to just fit in and follow along. You were born to shine, to speak, to lead. But that kind of life requires you to be brave, to risk judgment, to walk away from the applause of the crowd and walk toward the stillness of your purpose. The crowd may be loud, but your calling is louder if you choose to listen. This isn't just about personal freedom. It's about impact, because when you rewrite your story, you give others the courage to do the same. You become a living example that it's never too late to change, that you don't have to be who you were yesterday, that you're allowed to choose differently, live boldly, and step into something greater. So stop waiting for someone to give you permission to be you. Stop waiting for the perfect time to start. That time is now. That permission is yours. Rewrite your story with the pen in your own hand. And don't apologize for any of it, because the most beautiful, powerful, inspiring version of your life is the one only you can write. Discipline, not motivation, is what builds unstoppable momentum. That's a truth most people don't want to hear because discipline isn't flashy. It's not exciting. It doesn't come with a rush of adrenaline or a burst of inspiration. It's quiet. It's repetitive. It's the daily decision to show up, to do the work, to keep going even when you don't feel like it. And that's why it's so powerful, because it doesn't rely on how you feel . It's built on what you've decided . Motivation is a spark. It's an emotional high. It shows up when you watch a powerful video, read an inspiring quote, or hear someone speak with passion. It makes you feel like you can conquer the world for a moment. But what happens when that feeling fades? What happens when life gets hard, when you're tired, when results aren't coming fast enough? Motivation disappears. That's where most people stop. That's where dreams go to die, not because they weren't possible, but because people waited to feel like continuing instead of choosing to. Discipline doesn't care about your mood. It doesn't negotiate with your excuses. It says, I show up because I said I would. And that kind of consistency, that's what changes your life. That's what builds confidence, not hype, not talking. Not wishing, doing over and over again, even when it's boring, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. People look at successful individuals and think they must be incredibly motivated all the time. But that's a myth. The most powerful people in any field, whether it's business, fitness, creativity, or leadership, aren't driven by constant motivation. They're driven by habits, systems, discipline. They've trained themselves to act in alignment with their goals regardless of how they feel. And that discipline creates results, and those results create more discipline. That's the cycle. That's how momentum is born. Discipline is a form of self-respect. It's choosing to honor your future self over your current comfort. It's saying, I may not feel like doing this today, but I know this is the path to the life I want. It's doing the workout even when you're tired. It's writing the chapter even when you feel uninspired. It's saving the money even when you want to spend it. Discipline is the difference between a wish and a plan. You want to know why some people keep rising while others stay stuck. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's discipline. The ability to keep showing up day after day in silence with no audience, no applause, no immediate reward. Just a quiet commitment to keep going, to keep building, to keep improving. That's what separates those who dream from those who do . There's something sacred about becoming the kind of person who keeps promises to themselves, who doesn't need someone else to hold them accountable because they've developed the muscle of self-discipline. It's a kind of freedom most people never experience. The freedom of knowing you can trust yourself, that you don't need motivation to move. You've got purpose, you've got vision, you've got a reason bigger than your feelings. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. You won't always get it right. There will be days when you slip, when you fall short, when your discipline falters. But the key is to get back up, to not let one bad day turn into a bad week. To remember that consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about not quitting. One step, one decision, one action at a time. You have everything you need to become unstoppable, but you have to stop waiting for the mood to strike. You have to take control of your actions, even when motivation is nowhere in sight. That's the edge, that's the shift. When you realize discipline is a choice you make daily, not something you wait to feel, you unlock a level of power and focus that most people never tap into. This is how you build the life you say you want, not with bursts of energy that fade, but with daily discipline that compounds. Small steps repeated over time lead to massive transformation. You don't have to be extraordinary, you just have to be consistent. You don't need to sprint, you need to keep walking forward, no matter what. So stop chasing motivation, start building discipline, make it your lifestyle, let it become part of who you are, because once discipline becomes your default, success becomes inevitable. You won't need to chase momentum, it'll be chasing you. That's the real magic. That's how empires are built, quietly, daily, through discipline. Be your own hero, because no one else can live your destiny for you. That truth is both sobering and empowering. It means that while support, love, and encouragement from others can help, the real responsibility lies with you. No one is coming to save you, and no one should have to. You are not a side character in someone else's story. You are the lead in your own. And until you fully step into that role, life will continue to feel like something that's happening *to*you instead of something you are creating asterisk for asterisk yourself. We've been taught to wait for someone to notice us, wait for someone to believe in us, wait for someone to choose us. But every time you wait for someone to save you, you hand them the power that's already yours. And the truth is, most people are too focused on surviving their own lives to come rescue you from yours. That's not harsh, it's reality. And once you accept that, you begin to realize that being your own hero is the most liberating thing you'll ever do. Being your own hero means choosing yourself even when no one else does. It means standing up when it would be easier to lie down. It means learning how to clap for yourself when the room is silent. It's about having your own back, building your own strength, and refusing to wait for someone else to tell you that you matter. Because you already do, you always have. But it's not enough to be valuable. You have to no it, own it, and live like it. You weren't born to be rescued. You were born to rise, to lead, to show others what it looks like to overcome. You may not have chosen every circumstance in your life, but you get to choose how you respond. You get to decide what you build from the pieces you've been given. Heroes aren't made in comfort, they are forged in the fire, through hardship, heartbreak, and the hard choices that most people run from. It takes guts to be your own hero. It takes grit, because it means showing up even when you're scared. It means pushing forward when no one is cheering. It means trusting yourself when doubt creeps in, and refusing to shrink just because life got heavy. You've been through too much to play small. You've survived too much to settle for less than your calling. And here's the thing, being your own hero isn't about perfection. It's not about having all the answers. It's about the willingness to rise again and again, to face your fears head on, to break the generational patterns that try to trap you, to heal what others handed you. It's about turning your wounds into wisdom and your setbacks into stepping stones. That's heroism, that's power. When you decide to be your own hero, something shifts inside of you. You stop looking for validation outside yourself. You stop needing constant reassurance. You stop settling for halfway love and surface-level opportunities. Instead, you begin to demand more from life, because you're finally giving more to yourself. You start walking differently, talking differently, thinking differently, because you realize you are no longer waiting to be chosen. You are the choice, and when people see that kind of energy, they take notice, not because you're loud, but because you're solid, grounded, whole. That kind of presence is rare, it's magnetic, and it only comes when you've done the work to become your own source of strength. No one can give that to you. You earn it through every silent decision, every moment of self-respect, every time you refuse to settle. This world doesn't need more people waiting to be saved. It needs more people who are brave enough to lead themselves, to take ownership of their lives, to rise without applause, to heal without revenge, to grow without needing to be seen. You can be that person, not someday. Now, you're already enough, you're already powerful. You just have to stop looking outside of yourself for what's been inside you all along. Every answer, every solution, every next step, it's within you, but you have to get still enough, bold enough, and honest enough to listen. Being your own hero doesn't mean doing it all alone. It means being your own foundation, your own first responder, your own biggest believer, and from that place of inner strength, you'll attract the people, opportunities, and breakthroughs that align with who you truly are. So rise up, not because someone told you to, not because it's easy, but because you've finally decided that no one else is going to live your life for you. Be your own hero, stand in your power, and write a story that even your younger self would be proud of. So here we are. You've heard it, and now you feel it. Nobody is coming to save you, And that's not a tragedy. It's the greatest truth you'll ever embrace. Because once you realize the power was never out there, it was always in you. You stop waiting and you start rising. You stop hoping someone else will rescue you, and you start rewriting your story with your own hands, in your own voice, on your own terms. Yes, it's going to take discipline. It's going to take pain. It's going to take showing up on the days you feel like disappearing. But this life, this dream, this destiny, it's yours, and nobody, absolutely nobody, can live it for you. It's your name on the cover of your story. It's your sweat, your tears, your fire that will fuel every breakthrough. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too far gone. You are exactly who and where you need to be to begin again, to rise from what tried to bury you, to speak louder than the lies that tried to silence you, to choose yourself over and over again until the world has no choice but to do the same. This is your wake-up call. Not to survive, but to lead, not to exist, but to live fully, boldly, fearlessly, without apology, without permission, because once you stop waiting to be saved and decide to become your own hero, you become unstoppable. Now go. Rise up, rewrite your life, and don't look back, because the world hasn't even seen the most powerful version of you yet, but it will.